Okay, so I want to talk about an idea, trying an idea that was pitched to me a little while ago. And I'm going to try to do this on Patreon. First off, for those of you who are Patreons of mine, thank you. I've got, there's a $1, $3, $5 setup. And I'm going to try something new. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to call it yet. There's a copper, silver, and gold right now, but I'm going to set it up. Anyway, I want to talk about something I'm going to try. And I don't think anybody else is doing this. And I'm only doing it on Patreon because I'm not sure how many I can handle at a time. Which, the way I see it, they'll trickle in. And I'm working on this right now, so I'll be set up for it. And I can do a good job here. Because I do believe it's important. So basically, I want to try to put together a prepper plan, right? Like, basically, hear your story. Ask you some questions like, are you married? Are you single if you're married or, serious relationship? How does your partner feel about, your significant other? How do they feel about prepping, right? Are they on board or not? Do you believe in firearms? Can you own firearms? Do you have any skills? How many are with in your family or group or whatever? What part of the country do you live in? Like your climate? Do you get a lot of rain? Is it dry? Does it get really hot? Does it get really cold? Stuff like that. And I want to try. What's your story? What do you believe is going to happen? What do you want to prepare for? Right? And try to put myself in your shoes. So let's say some guy in New York, he got a small studio, whatever he may believe, he may think the problem may be, what he thinks is the most likely scenario. Put myself in his shoes. What would I do in this guy's situation, right? What would I do under those circumstances? Now, I don't know it all, man. I'm just using my beliefs, common sense, what I've read about past instances that I think would be similar. Read what happened in the past under similar circumstances, and the lessons learned from there, and how that would probably what would be the same, what would probably be different, right, from history. And just my own experience, because prepping, you learn as you go, man. And you make plenty of mistakes, especially when you're starting out, that can cost you time and money. And, it's better to be set up sooner than later. So, that's what that's about, right? At the same time, dying camera and other stuff, so, a way to help each other out. And, if you are a veteran prepper, you've been doing this for years, it's probably not for you. I'll be honest with you, man. If you've been doing this for years, then you've probably got it. Prepping is pretty. It's like a tree in a way. It depends on what you prep for. You're gonna always have your basics, no matter what you prepare for. Let's say if it's you got a guy prepping for the an economic collapse. Somebody else is prepping for EMP attack or a solar flare. Somebody else is preparing for a pandemic. Somebody else for even, out there like an alien invasion or zombie apocalypse. Well, in certain ways, it's all the same. Food, water, defense, medical, hygiene, right? The basics are going to be the same. And let's say you're the guy prepping for the zombie apocalypse, and there's a solar flare or EMP attack. Well, you're better off if you're that guy that was preparing for a zombie apocalypse than the guy that laughed at him and did nothing, right? So that's something to think about. So I want to say that's the basics, and then depending on what you're prepping for, try to help you in that direction. I personally think we're going to have an economic collapse. I think that's a very there's a very strong possibility of that. After that, you know, I get kind of nervous about all these bird flu strains that have been acting funny. So I think that's the next thing I prep for. So, you know, economic collapse, I see that as a duration. So I have quite a bit amount of food, you know, to hold up for a while. And then because I believe pandemic would be possible too, I'm a bit higher on stuff, you know, medical, right? So that's what I'm prepping for. But let's say, you know, you're looking for a solar flare, EMP attack. Well, then, you know, equipment and there's the Faraday cages, stuff like that. You know, that's not what I'm into, but I could point you in the right direction and get you the basics down, right? Again, if you're a veteran prepper, it's probably not for you. If you're a new prepper or you're seriously thinking about prepping, it might be. All right? So you got to think about it, man. It may be something for you. It may be a waste of time. If you think things are under control, you know, if you're new to this, but you think you have it, right? You don't need a second opinion. You're pretty darn sure of what you're doing. Then it's totally okay to say no. I don't need that. That's fine, right? If you got it under control, you got it under control, man. You know, ask yourself, man. Some of y'all, like, you know, me, I can sleep at night. You know, I worry about things, but hey, you know, you're never going to be 100% covered. But, you know, can you sleep at night with the belief that if something happens, you can still feed your family? You can protect them if there's nutcases outside, right? Do you believe in what you hear in the news, right? Do you think it's a bit out of proportion, but pretty close to what's really happening? Do you believe somebody that went to school for years, some economist telling you everything's okay? He went to school for years. Do you believe him? Because he's got that diploma on the wall. If you believe in that, well, you know, it's probably not for you. If you believe that they know what's going on, it's probably not for you. Right? Do you believe you can put together a plan to prepare for a calamity and be ready or nearly ready if something was to happen? You know? Because I don't think it should take years to get set up. I think you should do it as quickly as possible. Do you believe you can do it in a timely manner? You know? Do you think you've read enough and watched enough videos that you can do it on your own? Well, then it's probably not for you. If you need, if you want help, maybe it is. But, you know, it depends on y'all. I'm not going to tell you what's right and wrong for you, right? Only you can do that. All I can tell you is what I'm planning on doing. You know, I want to know for those of you that decide to go take me up on this service, do you believe that you got it under control? Or you go with the service and, you know, you tell me your story, what your circumstances are, and I want to know what's going on, your circumstances, how many, and all, you know, those questions. I'll put together a list of questions to send off. You know, will be email basically, and email you the questions, and you send back the answers and what you want to do, what your goal is, and then I'll put myself in your shoes and tell you what I would do, and send you, you know, emails on, okay, this is what I would do on this. You know, let's talk about food on this. This is what I would do in this situation. Send you another one about water. You know, this, if I was in that situation, here's all the things I'd be doing about water. Something like that. And by the time I post this up, I should be done. I'll probably just wait until I'm ready for it and then post it up. So if you're seeing this video, check the link into my description bar to Patreon, and by then it'll be set up there, and I'll be ready to roll. If you choose to accept that, your mission. If you choose to accept it. Right, that's what I'm offering to do, but it's kind of time consuming, man. You really, like I said, I'm going to put myself in those shoes and try to figure out the best, because I do believe that an economic collapse is coming, and I believe that lives are at stake. So, you know, I want to try to do a credible job here. Now, it's up to you guys. You guys, again, description bar. If you choose to go with this, if not, you know, that's cool too. Whatever I ain't gonna tell people what's what. You choose what's right for you. Anyway, that's it. I'm out, and hope to see you guys on Patreon.